Spotlight Live, your front row seat to the latest innovations in software for small business. I'm Michael Burnswag, your host, and each week we're joined by executives at leading software companies to get an insider's perspective on the emerging technologies, business strategies, and market trends shaping the future. Tune in to stay ahead of the curve on leveraging software to boost productivity and growth in your business. Be sure to visit our website, softwareoasis.com, to sign up for our free weekly newsletter and also sign up for our upcoming software webinar series. Today, we're in for a real treat. We're being joined by Gabor Kriston. He is a funnel and marketing expert who helps businesses optimize for conversions. As the founder of Funnel Expert, he leverages his sales campaign knowledge. In this episode, we'll share his latest venture, BlissCompass, an app aligning daily tasks with life's purpose by rating activity fulfillment, enabling users to focus on meaningful pursuits. So with that, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Micah, thanks for having me here. I'm super excited about today's conversation and my latest venture.
Yeah, no, this is really exciting, and I know, obviously you have a tech background and all of that, and funnel optimization has brought you to where you are today. But it seems like you have a wide variety of interests, and it seems like you've honed in on a more meaningful solution in terms of something that's near and dear to your heart. So I was hoping you could give us a little bit of the backstory and how you got to where you are and what the solution's all about.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. I'm still trying to find the right identity for myself. Lately, I'm apostrophing myself as a reverse engineer, meaning I want to figure out how things work and then figure out the moving parts and how you could optimize those parts. So essentially, how this is science of how you can model things, and that very interestingly applies to business and life too, because a system is really a funnel that has steps, and if you identify the steps and you understand the inner workings of any system, any funnel, then you can make it better. So, and that kind of interest led me to online marketing and direct marketing first and foremost, because direct marketing is not about just throwing some messaging out there and hoping that it lands, but it's a continuous process of refining what works, tracking data, looking at the numbers, and trying to be the control your latest best result. And if you think about your life, it applies to you. Like, you have things that doesn't work, and you have things that work, and you have things that you enjoy and you don't enjoy, and you want to do more of what you enjoy and less of what you don't enjoy to optimize the end result, which is the joy in your life, how much joy
Sure.
and enjoyment you have in your life. So yeah, I don't know how well that came across, but I think everything is a process, and everything can be optimized. It's just a matter of knowing the components and improving on the inner workings.
Sure. So is at a high level, Bliss Compass essentially your compass to this journey that everyone is taking? Is that the concept, or where did the name come
Yes.
from?
So really, it goes back to some books I've read, and I can if I can mention a name,
Sure.
one that had a huge impact on my life was "Awaken the Giant Within" from Tony Robbins, and he says that you don't really need to do a lot of learnings and have a ton of coaches or people you follow to refine or make your life better. You have to listen to your inner voice, which is giving you pointers all about what makes you happy and like what's stressing you out. The only problem is you are not capturing that information. Yeah. So
Sure.
a day goes by, you have high levels of stress, maybe high levels of joy, but you're not recording these emotions, and you're not recording the causes of these emotions. And I read 100 books, 100 personal development books, and most of these books will end up suggesting you some form of reflection exercise that you should do at the end of the day. But everybody has a busy life, and the end of the day is normally where you're the most exhausted. Your family is there. You just feel it hard to find the time to do these journaling exercises. So my idea was, I was tracking my time with different softwares for quite a long time now, but that was for solely for what am I working on, but it didn't give me insights on am I enjoying this activity or not. So I was thinking about, why couldn't you connect the two? Basically, you're tracking your work on whatever you're doing, and at the end of that tracking session, you could immediately rate how you felt about that specific activity. Imagine it's like a post on your newsfeed, and you're liking that or not. You're basically capturing your emotion about that specific thing you're seeing. With BlissCompass, you're recording that emotion in relation
In
to
real
the
time.
activity you're doing. And the beauty about that is you're recording that emotion at the highest level of intensity, and it's also stress relief, because you're giving it out, and you're living through the stress, but you're also living through the emotion. So it's very accurate. It's a very tweak to what I've done before, but I can already see the power of it.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And speaking to Tony Robbins, I mean, I have attended one of his webinars, and I will say that he's a remarkable individual, and really focused on especially at this point in his career, uh, doing good and giving back, and he has so many different ways in which he's doing that, and to get that insight from having read some of his works is really remarkable. And it almost sounds as if Tony were to have developed an app. This might be it. So can you tell me
Yeah.
yeah, so at a high level, can you kind of walk me through a day with someone using the solution versus not using the solution, and how it would impact their day, like or their journey as they go throughout the day?
Absolutely. So the difference here is really capturing what you do. So you can start using the app just without any to-do lists whatsoever. How I do it, I have another application I developed, which is a full-blown task manager, where I prioritize what I'm planning to do throughout the day. Just Sorry, excuse me.
Mhm.
And my day normally starts with that. I'm looking through what I need to do, how much time I need to allocate to do those tasks. How important are they? Am I working in the right priorities according to the plan? And then, yeah, as I'm progressing through the day, I'm recording those activities. Sorry. And at the end of the each activity, basically, is this live? Can I get a
Sure.
sip of water?
Yeah, go for it. No worries. No, I know a lot of, as I was reading about the app itself, it sounds like a lot of the focus of the architecture of the app is on recording the feedback, and clearly feedback is such an important component to being able to understand where you fit into your day and getting the most out of your day. So that's really helpful. But hopefully that quick pause there helped get rid of that frog in your throat, as they say.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no
Uh,
worries.
so so yeah, as I'm progressing through the day, I'm recording the emotions at the end of each tracking session, and that's the main capability of the app. But it goes further than that,
Sure.
because I can not only assign an activity to a project, but I'm also assigning it to a role. So, for example, I'm an agency owner. I have projects, uh, but each of those projects fall under my role of an agency owner. But I'm also having personal roles, like I'm a dad, I'm a spouse. So I can track those activities, and with that, you can see how your time is distributed not only across emotions, but projects, roles, uh, uh, buckets of roles, which are like work, relationship, and personal. So at the end of the day, you have a ton of data you can look at, and and it's meaningful even with the first activity you're tracking, because you have this experience of, hey, I like this thing a lot, or I don't like it at all. Uh, and at the end of the day, you can just look through the current day's activities, and you see what you need to do more of, less of, and you can do that historically, looking at last week or the last month, and there will be a pattern uh, about the things you like. And the beauty of these additional captured information, like your roles, your projects, and also you can record the priority associated to an activity you're tracking. Basically, you can find the things you love the most that has a high priority, meaning it has a high impact on your life. And if it's a role that it is important for you. So if you find those things and you have a perfect alignment, now you're really tracking to what you want to get out of your life,
Yeah, so it
and
sounds like you can really
very
draw our
quickly.
insight
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, and I guess at
Yes.
a high level, it's almost like having a personal therapist without the bill. I mean, it helps
Exactly.
someone. Yeah, it really helps someone to reflect and understand all of the actions they're taking throughout their day, how it's impacting their lives.
Yeah, and it happens, you know, uh, with a single click at the end of each activity. So you're making, if you have 10 activities, you make 10 additional clicks. But at the end of the day, basically, you have your journaling done, you have to look at the data, and you just have to make the right choices. Like, yeah, it's a true experience. I made some like serious choices on this very day based on what I was tracking in the last few days inside the app, and that was a relief. Like, I have a firm ground for the important decisions I'm making in my life.
And it sounds like it goes hand in hand with mindfulness, to be honest with you. I mean, it sounds like it really is a tool that can enable anyone to get the feedback that they may not be able to get on their own, or even, see within themselves or the relationships that they have very easily. So that's really really exciting. um, are there, how did you come up with the idea initially? And what was the problem that you were trying to solve in coming out with the solution? And what did you see missing in other solutions that were out there?
Mhm. So in reality, this is my second attempt of solving the same problem.
Sure.
In 2020, I think it was in 2020. uh, yeah, my agency was growing nicely. I had my book published, but because of some bad business relationship, they really drained these clients really drained the life out of me.
Yeah.
I got to the stage of burnout, and on one day, like at 7 p.m., when I got home from work, all I could do was like fall into bed, and I literally I had to sleep for
Yeah.
like 12 hours to get back to life again. I was so drained emotionally, not physically, emotionally.
Sure.
And I heard my son, uh, coming into the room, and he wanted to play with me, and his mom said like, "Oh, let daddy rest. He must be really exhausted." And I'm like, I cannot let that happen. Like, family is super important
Yeah.
for me. And I realized like things can get out of control even if you have good intentions, if you not tracking what direction you're heading to. Yeah. And this was an example. And because family matters to me more than anything, I had to find a solution. And I read like 100 books, and I was
Right.
like, there should be a solution in one of these books, but some of them gave part of the solution but not a holistic solution. And finally I went back to the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by
By
Stephen
Covey.
Covey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's a holistic solution. The problem with that, I'm a digital person. All my work is happening online to digital platforms, and to this day, what they have is uh, a planner, a paper-based planner, and then there's no digital solution or alternative to that. And
Sure.
even aside from the books, that system is locked behind paywalls. I mean, like the company is giving trainings to not a big companies with 40 or more employees, but there's nothing that helps to translate that holistic life management system into daily activities. So I was like, I'm gonna create a software solution that applies the 7 habits to daily life, because I want to fix my life for now and forever.
Well, if you look on the
And
bookshelf behind me, you'll see that book is standing proudly. So
yeah, amazing. And then that happened 4 years ago. Like, I went to uh, an angel investor I know with the idea, and he invested immediately. And I was like, now I can take this system and make it known everywhere. And then we had our rounds with my angel, and then got on our separate ways again. But I figured out, like, it's at that point I wasn't capturing emotions with my first solution, and because of that I could have fallen back to my old ways, because I was thinking, okay, based on the 7 habits, priorities and roles, what you need to focus on. But you can work along the right priorities, in the right roles, but if you're not capturing how you feel about the things, you can make a big impact. You can feel fulfilled by excelling in one of your roles. It's still not about your feelings. And also, my first software was a bit too complex, so I went into like task management and documenting things and planning in there.
Sometimes
But
less
it's really
is more, when it comes to solutions. So let me ask you.
I figured that.
Is it an actual app that you would put on your phone, or is it a solution that you would use on the web, or both? How is it delivered?
For now, it's a web application, meaning you can access it from the browser. There's a browser extension companion that makes it easier to use. But in the coming months, it will be also turned into an iOS and Android app.
Sure.
So it will be as simple as hitting the record button, giving your current activity a name, and then stopping the tracking. And then with an additional click, you just choose from one of 5 feelings that are marked with emojis. So that's something that people are used to these days, and you just capture the emotion. And at the end of the day, you look at your activities, each of them having an emoji assigned to them, and you can immediately spot the one you liked and the one that made you stressed and angry.
Sure. So at a high level, once you've set up the initial activities that are part of your life, it's really just a matter of taking a quick moment to click each activity and provide feedback.
Yeah. So you can get started with no required activities whatsoever, because as you start tracking, you can add your roles and projects and tags one by one. So basically, you enter into the app, you start tracking, and you will fill in the information as you start tracking. So that makes it super simple and very easy to get started.
Yeah, so easy to interact with. So let me ask you, you had mentioned an angel investor. Is on this round with this specific app, are you doing it as a bootstrapped startup, or are you taking some funding on this solution?
Yeah, so it's a very, very interesting question, because funnel hackers are the ones who make it on their own, and that gives you like a lot of freedom of what you do, and remaining bootstrapped enhances your creativity. Like how can I make it work? So basically, I'm still tinkering about what's the best approach. Obviously, coming from the funnel world and knowing what I can do, what kind of funnels I can spin up to support this project, gives me a ton of ways. So I'm having partnership with, let's say, a coach who have a course that ties to this very topic of capturing your emotions. And basically, I can give my product as a a bonus to her program, and obviously there's some kind of commission happening in the background, so I can monetize it that way. So this is combining funnels with softwares. I think something that we see more of in the future, because that is just a different mindset, and it potentially allows you to be profitable from a very early stage, because you're thinking about, okay, how can I break even with this funnel that where my product is the product I want to uh, make money on, and then how can I in the same time get it in the hands of as many people as possible. So I'm thinking for the short term, I will remain bootstrap. If it spreads fast and I'm feeling like, okay, I need to get external investors to make the mission um, reach more people, then I probably think about taking on outside investment.
So, at a high level, how does that impact the solution?
So could you just repeat the question? I think I have a connection drop
Oh,
for
so
a few seconds.
at a high level, when you look at the way that you're marketing the solution by partnering with other, you know, entrepreneurs and other companies that are funneling traffic to your solution, how does that impact the funding? So you're still able to launch the solution as a bootstrap startup, but you're using different methods for marketing the solution. Is that essentially the idea overall?
Yeah. So basically, you can tap into other people's traffic sources,
Sure.
and then what if what you're doing is beneficial for their audience, then there's a reason for them to promote your product, and if that's valuable, like that's a huge value add to the audience, and it makes uh, sense for them to share uh, profits.
Yeah, and I think
So
that's a great idea because it really helps everyone to grow their community and to grow their value that they're providing to their existing community.
yeah, yeah, and then as, from the founders point of view, it gives you a lot of freedom of what you can do, and what matters is keeping it simple, so the overhead is not eating you uh, up alive, because
Sure.
obviously you have to run the business, you have to keep the servers running,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So how do you envision once you have, the iOS and the Android app and everything, fully to market, how do you envision the licensing model? Will it be used by individuals or by businesses for their employees? And Is it going to be a per user license, or what do you see as the revenue model?
So as this is not only a product but a mission for me, I will always have a free version to the
Sure.
product, but I already have a feature set outlined for the paid version, and and uh, uh, and this can expand to being used by teams. So imagine if a company regularly having meetings would have a way to get feedback about the outcome of that meeting
Right.
from their team members anonymously. Yeah, because I think that's important. Like you wouldn't be sincere in your reviews if you would have to have your name assigned for a bad rating
Right.
if your boss sees it. But anonymously, I think it could be a valuable feedback tool. So there's a way to essentially monetize the product itself, even having a free version, and then the more advanced version should be what comes really as a monthly subscription product.
Makes good sense. When did you launch the solution, like initially?
It's very new. It's like the actual public version is a few weeks old, but yeah, internal testing has started around December last year, so it's still new. I have many conversations in place with people known in the personal development space. As I said, this is valuable to their audience, and yeah, it supports the mission, because the mission really is have a system and tool in place for anybody and everybody uh, from an early age that has them align what they do with what they want to get out of life.
Yeah, and I think it absolutely serves a higher purpose, especially for anyone that suffered with either mental illness or other types of you know challenges, whether it's in their personal or business life or anything like that. It provides a feedback mechanism and the road to recovery, I guess you might say, for
Yes.
for many individuals. So and obviously having experienced what you described there, burnout is something that can happen in any career, any industry, to anyone. So it's so important to
Yeah,
see those early warning signs, and it sounds like this is
exactly.
yeah, it sounds like this is clearly a tool to do that. Have As far as the development, obviously the initial concept, you came up with the concept and the idea for the structure, but as the product evolves, how do you envision getting the feedback to develop the features and the feature set and the capabilities along the way?
Yeah, so there are many ways to go about it. Obviously, you can do like user reviews, incentivize people providing feedback, but there's some really good tools out there that basically, if someone likes the product and uses the product, I think they would be willing to share their ideas. You just have to make it really easy. So there are some like in-app solutions. For example, there's an icon where if they click on it, they can type their feedback right into a checkbox, and that makes providing feedback really easy. So
Sure.
I'm adding this kind of feedback loop into the app, and then yeah, try to talk to people using it as often as possible, so we can add the right features that makes the usability even easier.
So as far as a tech stack and all of that for developing the solution? Or are you doing a lot of the coding yourself, or do you have others helping you with the tech end of things, or how are you getting it to market?
Yeah. So I'm a software engineer originally. I worked as a software engineer, uh, but here I took a different mm, mm, approach. Yeah. So
Sure.
I outsourced development 100%. I haven't touched a single line of code.
Okay.
I just made sure that it's simple enough, and yeah, luckily I got to work with a very talented developer who understood me even from half words.
Sure.
Uh, so this was a very good experience for me, and I had to, because I didn't know what's inside the box,
Sure.
and some new technologies were deployed. uh, I was a spectator and providing feedback like a user would do, and it was a good experience. And I'm planning to do that way because you know you have to see where your true value add is. And I can through the agency I have employees, so they are leveraged. So my time invested into the agency to grow the agency and generate revenue that I can feed back to the BlissCompass mission is a better investment of my time, and that's how I want to keep it. So I want to focus on what I'm good at, marketing, creating the funnels to support the business, and then I
Sure.
keep development outsourced in the future too.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, and I think it'll help keep your personal compass balanced and keep you
Right.
heading in a good direction. So I think that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Um, and just at a high level, obviously, you've had a lot of background and a lot of experience in what you're doing. For those just getting started with, pulling together requirements and validating an idea that they may have, what type of advice would you give to others as they're kind of getting something off the ground?
Keep it simple. Yeah, that's very important. So I've overcomplicated things, and I'm consulting a lot of companies. And yeah, I think this will be the most valuable advice I can ever give to anyone. You know, don't think your ideas will work out. So everything is just an assumption until proven valid. Yeah. So
Makes a lot
people
of sense.
invest a ton of time, resources, money into things that won't work out because they didn't take the time early on to validate that what they are investing into is a good idea or not. And I'm seeing, I, I don't even want to throw numbers out there, like how much and how often this is happening in businesses. So, if it works out on a pen and paper and an Excel sheet, and you can show someone that Excel sheet or that idea scratched out on paper, and they think it's a good idea, that's a good indicator. Uh, Tell your mom. If your mom understands it, then it's simple enough.
Sure.
If she doesn't, then you
Go back to the
probably
drawing
already
board. Yeah,
overcomplicated. But what truly important is get your assumptions out of your head and validate it as soon, as early, and as cheap as possible. Because
so come up with your
yeah,
minimum
you're
viable product and get it out to
exactly.
some real users. And it's so interesting because in the days of old, getting a product to market, everything had to be coded by hand, and it was much more intense. And then at the end of 6 months or a year, you found out if it worked or it didn't. With a lot of the low
Yeah.
code, no code development tools nowadays, you can really very quickly get a minimum viable product to market, and find out if your idea or assumptions, like you said, are correct or not, and iterate very quickly. So I think that's
Yeah.
probably great advice. So, well, that's neat. And I would be remiss if we didn't give you a little plug for your funnel building and all of that. I know that that's a big part of your agency and all of that. Can you share with our community a little bit about, is it DX Labs? Is that your main uh, business? You know, at a high level, or what's the name of your main company?
Yeah. The DX Labs is the name of my company, but yeah, and the name of the agency we're running in Hungary. We have Expert Hub, which is experthub.pro. That is our international agency where we do funnel services. And then we have funnel.expert, which is an educational site where we have cataloged nearly 200 funnels doing 1, 10, 25, $100 million per year. And it's free to access, no opt-in required, because yeah, we figured that building a successful online business is hard. If you have the right funnels in your niche to model, it will become easier. And but you can still have blockers. You're not technical, it's still complex. You see what needs to be done, but you still need help. Then we're there to help, but we're also trying to contribute to the online marketing and funnel building community by finding the right funnels to model, and then just making it easily accessible for everyone so they can get a head start.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think at a high level, you're right. Entrepreneurship and business is challenging enough, and sometimes having a hand up, or a little bit of advice from someone that's kind of been there and done that, and understands what does and doesn't work, and can provide a little bit of feedback is great. So, well, I really, Gabor, appreciate your taking the time to join us on the Software Spotlight today, and sharing your BlissCompass solution, and the early stages of the development, and where you're heading on that. And coming up, joining us on our next live stream tomorrow at 9, we have Douglas Squirrel. He's a renowned technical leadership expert with over 2 decades of experience. He's guided over 200 companies in transforming their technical teams. He'll share proven methods from action science for energizing high performers, addressing leadership gaps, and fostering cultures of continuous improvement to deliver quality products faster. So be sure to join us on that live stream tomorrow. Coming up today at 1 p.m. Eastern is our webinar on AI and the future of customer service. So be sure to register for that at softwareoasis.com. And as always, be sure to access our free weekly software newsletter at softwareoasis.com. Just click on subscribe, and you'll also be able to get updates on our weekly webinar series. So, once again, Gabor Kriston from BlissCompass, thanks for joining us on the Software Spotlight today.
Thanks for having me. It was an exciting